Hey everybody, welcome back. And in this lesson, we're just going to go ahead and continue where we left off in our last lesson. And we're going to go ahead and begin the sculpting process here. Okay, so first things that we want to go ahead and do here, since we are taking a look at a concept, which is this one, let me go ahead and just reload our spotlight here. And this will just take a second to go ahead and bring in. Okay, I'm going to hit Z to go ahead and bring back my manipulator here. Like I said earlier, we're not necessarily going to be doing this concept that we see here, but we are basing our character on that image, and so we want to try and line up as best we can the same sort of shapes that are here. Okay, so the mouth obviously is going to go here. The cheeks, are going to be in that specific area, as well as the chest, the deltoids, the trapezius muscle, but we want to add our own cartoonish flavor to it. Okay, so let's go ahead here and start with the mouth, and what we're going to do is just basically block in the area where the mouth is going to be, not necessarily the eyes right now, because I still want to manipulate the mesh a little bit, and you can always manipulate that mesh as much as you want to come out and be basically what you want. So we're going to go ahead here and just start with the mouth. So we'll go ahead and mask out an area where that mouth is, and I'm just going to jump up a subdivision level here so I have a little bit more refinement on our mask, and we'll go ahead and just turn off that image. Okay, I'll go ahead and invert that mask using my Damien standard here. I'm just going to go ahead and make a couple sculpts of where the mouth is going to be here. Okay, you can always go ahead and clear that mask by holding down control and just clicking and dragging. And now what I want to go ahead and do is I want to make sure that I get that area around what is going to be the mouth cut in. Okay, so if we go ahead and bring that image back, you can see where he has sort of these larger lips. But since we're going to go ahead and make this more cartoonish, what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm basically going to go ahead and create the same thing here, but I'm going to add a little bit more I'll go with a little bit more muscle and meat to the lips. So we'll just turn down our clay brush here, and we'll go ahead and sculpt on the outside of those. You can always use our smooth brush to start smoothing some of this back as well. Okay, and we'll just try and build this up as we want. And you can always use the inflate brush as well, because sometimes that's going to work a little bit better. Just make sure you really turn down a very, very low opacity or very, very low intensity, because if you keep it at the default, which I do think is 10, you can see where that sort of gets blown out a little bit, and that might actually be a decent shape there for the nose. So sometimes, whenever you're coming in with strokes, sometimes you come across a happy accent. So maybe we'll go ahead and use that shape for the nose. But for right now, I'm just trying to get this shape in here for the mouth. This really shouldn't take too much effort, but we want to make sure that we at least refine this a little bit here. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull out this mouth shape a little bit more, maybe round it off and flush in the sides here a little bit. I don't know if that actually works for me. Let's go ahead here and pull that in. We can probably even accentuate the chin a little bit. And I'm really just trying to find shapes that are really going to work for me. But what works for me may not necessarily work for you, so just make sure you try and come up with something interesting looking. It doesn't have to be, like I said, straight from the concept that we're basing this off of, because we're not really creating what we see in the image. Let's go ahead here and maybe adjust this mouth a little bit more. I think I want to go ahead and pull out this bottom lip a little bit. Maybe round it off a little bit more. Okay, and can probably even push this nose in here a little bit. And if we want, we can always come in here and keep refining, you know, where the mouth is going to be cut in here. We can probably just turn the intensity up a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this here. We'll go ahead and pinch these lips back together. See how this is going to look on subdivision level 4. Okay, so we'll just jump back a step here. And maybe just inflate this a little bit more. Make it a little bit more accentuated and a little more blown out. And we'll just have to adjust the corner there as well. Okay. So there you can see where we have those sort of accentuated lips. And let me see if I actually have some images here, and I do. Let's go ahead and take a look at maybe an actual rhino here and see if we can really see the lips here. And I think we can probably take a look at maybe this one or this one. And I'll just have to turn on our texture window here. So let's just go ahead and throw this into a spotlight. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn the opacity down so it'll bring the image back a little more. Go ahead and just scale this up so we can take a look at this. So you can see here where an actual rhino's lips is a little more accentuated, and it really does pop out. So we want to try to make sure that we get all this stuff in here, because we're definitely going to be adding, you know, like the wrinkles and things along those lines. So for right now, I think we're okay in terms of what we have here. And when we start jumping up subdivision levels, we'll definitely start refining this more. Let me go ahead and just blow this front part out a little bit more. And if you want, you can always come in here and maybe cut in behind the lips. So this is going to refine the lips just a little bit more on this lower subdivision level. And you'll notice that I tend to go around the model, making sure that I'm looking at both sides of the model, because you don't want to, you know, just primarily focus on one area. Even though I'm, you know, have that mirror symmetried over, I still tend to like to take a look at both sides at the same time. And I'm taking a look here at the chin, and I think maybe we should go ahead and refine that shape of the chin just a little bit. Try and round that out. And I don't know if that'll actually work. Okay, so let's go ahead and just try and refine the shape of the chin here just a little bit. Just trying to round it out a little bit more. Okay, and I'm just trying to also take a look here at how that top lip is coming along, and trying to figure out, you know, where I'm going to put the nostrils. I think maybe it'll probably end up being something like this, maybe. Let me go ahead and actually just turn the intensity up there a little bit. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe something there. I'm not 100% sure right now. So this is, you know, a large portion of this is just trying to figure out, you know, where you want to put things. So maybe there. I don't know if that's going to work. It looks okay, but, you know, maybe if we go ahead and scale this down a little bit here. Go ahead and not too sure. That looks a little bit too horsey. So let's go ahead and just focus here more on the front portion of the model and our lips. And we can worry about the nostrils maybe in the next lesson. I'm also going to try and see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at subdivision level 4. So the lips here are actually looking pretty good. In terms of where we want to put the eyes, since this is going to be a more stylized character, we're going to want them probably up here rather than being down here on the head. Let's go ahead and bring back the concept that we actually were using here, or looking at. Let's go ahead and just move this back over and turn our opacity up here. So if we scale this and size this back up so where we can see it, you can see where our eyes are really going to be on our head. So let me go ahead and just mask out an area here. And I don't think that for us the eyes are actually going to fit well here. I do think that we should probably go ahead and throw them on up here. We'll come back probably in an eye specific lesson and go ahead and do that. But for this lesson, our main objective here was to go ahead and bring in the lips and make sure that we get that shape refined. So we can go ahead and just clear that mask, and let's just go ahead and finish pinching these lips off there. Okay, so in the next lesson we'll go ahead and come back and we will continue the sculpting process of our rhino. So come on back, everybody.